My boyfriend told me I was imagining breaking up with him. He almost had me fooled. The first time I broke up with Jackson, he cried but said he understood and left that night. Then I woke up to him making eggs in my kitchen. I stared at him and asked what he was doing there, and he looked confused and said, "Did you have a bad dream?" I checked my phone, and the text I sent to my sister telling her about the breakup was gone. Jackson kept saying I must have dreamed the whole thing. He said, "Maybe you should take today off work and rest." I felt so confused. The breakup felt completely real. I remembered every word we said, but my phone said it never happened. I broke up with him again. Wednesday night, I packed his stuff myself and watched him drive away. Thursday morning, he was back in my bed with his arm around me. I screamed, and he jumped up looking terrified. He said, "Honey, you had another dream. We broke up? That's twice this week now. I'm really getting concerned about you." My phone was wiped clean again. I started crying, and he held me saying, "I think these stress dreams mean something serious. Maybe you need to talk to someone." I changed my locks on Friday while Jackson was at work. That night, I broke up with him, and he left looking devastated. Saturday morning, he was in my kitchen making pancakes. The new locks were somehow back to the old locks. My new keys were completely gone. I said, "How are you here?" I changed the locks. He said, "These dreams are getting so much worse. You're scaring me. I really think you need professional help." Maybe I really was imagining everything, but I was constantly exhausted and foggy no matter how much I slept. My water bottle tasted slightly bitter, but Jackson said that was just the new filter. I broke up with him Sunday night, then Monday night, then Tuesday night. Every single morning, he was back. Every time, my phone was wiped clean. Every time, he looked at me with concern and said I was having stress dreams. Finally, I called my best friend sobbing. I told her everything. She was quiet for a long time, then said, "Listen, I'm worried about you." Jackson called me last week and said, "You've been having really intense episodes." He said, "You've been making up scenarios that aren't happening." My stomach dropped. I said, "When did he call you?" She said, "Like 5 days ago. He's really concerned. He thinks you might need medication or something." He'd been calling everyone I knew and told them all I was losing my mind. Nobody would believe me even if I could prove the breakups were real. I felt completely trapped and crazy. Then I had an idea. If I couldn't prove the breakups were happening, maybe I could at least prove something was wrong with Jackson. I didn't know what exactly, but I needed witnesses to see whatever he was doing. I invited Jackson and 8 of our mutual friends over for dinner on Saturday. I told everyone I wanted to make a special announcement about our relationship. Jackson seemed thrilled. I asked my sister to come early and hide in my bedroom with her phone ready to record. I told her, "I don't know what's going to happen, but something is wrong and I need you to film everything." I made Jackson's favorite meal. I filled my water bottle from the breakup filter like I did every night. I left it on the counter while I cooked. Halfway through dinner, I stood up and said, "I have something important to tell everyone. Jackson and I are breaking up." Jackson immediately said, "Honey, not this again. You're having one of your episodes." Our friends shifted uncomfortably in their seats. What I didn't expect was my sister to burst out of the bedroom holding my water bottle and her phone. Her hands were shaking. She said, "I just watched you put something in her drink. I have it on video." The table went silent. She held up her phone and pressed play. Everyone watched Jackson look around to make sure nobody was watching, pull a pill bottle from his pocket, crush something up, and drop it into my water bottle. The room was so quiet I could hear people breathing. That's when everything clicked into place. The constant exhaustion, the memory gaps, the foggy confusion. He'd been slipping me sleeping pills every night so I'd be too knocked out to remember breaking up with him. Then he'd let himself back in while I was unconscious, move his stuff back, and erase all the evidence from my phone. I looked at Jackson and said, "You've been doing this every single night, haven't you? That's why I can never remember anything. That's why everyone thinks I'm crazy." Jackson's face went white. He said, "This is a setup. She's trying to frame me because she's unstable." But my best friend stood up and said, "We all just watched you do it with our own eyes. What the hell is wrong with you?" Jackson tried to leave, but my neighbor blocked the door. 3 people were already calling the police. Jackson was arrested that night for assault, and I got an emergency restraining order. Jackson is in handcuffs, but the nightmare is far from over. I discover a hidden logbook that reveals I wasn't his first girlfriend. I was just subject B. The GPS coordinates along with a subject A that has been buried for years. I'm about to uncover a track record of insanity that goes back a decade, and I realized I might be the only one who can save that woman he left behind. Click here to watch full video.